So what happens when the storm god goes crazy? You get this. Support this comic book series by visiting your LCS. My name is Dorian. This is SCN Comics. We are continuing our coverage of Age of Revelation with Rogue Storm. Number 1. Our story starts off in orbit, where we see Earth 5 years into the Age of Revelation. And we see Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, broken, just floating in space. And it says, our world was once home to the greatest god that has ever lived. Since Thor's from Asgard, that eliminates him. Plus, you didn't click on Rogue Thor. You know what, let's just keep it moving. We see the Sahara Desert in Egypt is frozen over, looking like Antarctica. We see Atlanta in the United States, and that place is a parking lot. Destroyed. And we see the Amazon rainforest is on fire. So then we cut back to the frozen Sahara Desert, where we have, I know this is Marvel, but tell me that ain't the Fortress of Solitude. Tell me that's not Superman's Fortress of Solitude. And it's guarded by 4 big ass robots. There's actually a 5th robot that's not as big, but just as scary. But we see a bunch of military, US, maybe other foreign countries, just frozen in ice, equipment and all. And we see Storm chained up with her powers going crazy. And it says our god went mad. Now, she didn't chain herself up, so I don't understand how the hell she's in control of the situation if she's chained. Guess we'll find out later on. Not in this book, but, I guess later on in the series. So then we cut to see Rogue, and she's with Gateway. And I thought she was standing on a tank. Really, she's standing on a creature that I have never seen before. And the creature is sentient and it's screaming war. And Rogue says Storm isn't our friend anymore. Well, she says ain't our friend anymore. And what's in there is a dragon that needs slain. So then Gateway opens up some portals and we see Rogue has some help. They are riding on these same creatures. They're all screaming war. We have Warpath, so that's fitting. We have Iceman, who's riding by himself. We have Fantomex. Man, I haven't seen him in a while. Actually, no, we did see him. He helped out the main roster X-Men because he's a part of the Hellions. And we got a 4-armed chick named Akujin, who I believe is new for the story. I tore her up looking to see if I could find anything on her to see if she was in anything else. Didn't find anything, so I'm assuming she's a new character. So she goes, I was worried you had changed your mind, my dear Rogue Red. We'll find out why she's calling her Rogue Red here in a minute. Then she goes, I was trembling at the thought of me putting my blade through your friend's head right in front of you. See, right there, if I'm Rogue, I'd have had to whoop her ass right there, just based on principle. Because you're pretty much telling me, no matter how I feel, you're going to do what you want to do anyway. Yeah, I had to get her. Plain simple. You don't even go here. You going to sit here and talk all that mess to me? I don't think so. So then Fantomex is like, I just don't want to have to put a gun in Gateway's head to get the hell out of here if things go south. Because that's exactly what the hell I'll do. And Warpath is like, if you abandon us on the battlefield, I'll hunt you down myself. And Iceman's like, can we concentrate on the problem at hand? We need to figure out how to take down them storm engines. Yes, if you're a fan of Storm, a fan of this series, then you know that her floating city that she has are powered by storm engines, and all those robots, those are the storm engines. So these big ass beasts that they're riding on, one of them goes, our world was molded by warfare. In the womb of our mother, we slaughter our siblings until only one emerges. I would say that's impressive, but Professor X did that to Cassandra Nova. So then he finishes with, at birth, we are already battle hardened. We live for war. We desire to die from it. So point us in the direction of your foe and let us do our thing. So the smallest storm engine shows up and she's like, I am the joint consciousness of the operating system of the storm engines. The mother is working and will not be disturbed. Teleport out of here immediately or you will be decimated. So the Fantomex starts busting shots at it and goes, "We're the Uncanny X-Force, and we don't decimate easy." And she goes, "Time's up." One of the big ass engines just falls out of nowhere. I mean, it just comes crashing down. And to their credit, these beasts don't bat an eyelash. They start blasting their cannons that's on their back and starts taking this dude down, or at least trying to. So then the engine grabs one of the creatures by his arm and just rips it off. And another creature blasts one of his cannons right in the engine's face. I mean, his head looks like it just exploded. And Rogue goes, "One down, 3 more to go." So then the engines keep saying the mother's working and will not be disturbed. Teleport out of here now or be decimated. So it shoots an arrow at our Uncanny X-Men. I mean, the size of the arrow must be massive. And then Gateway uses his power and he sends it through a portal. Rogue's like, "Where'd you send it?" And Gateway's like, "I didn't send it anywhere. I absorbed it." And he says, "I will use it." But before he could, the consciousness comes out of nowhere with her sword, stabs Gateway in the back and through his chest, and then crashes him down into the ice. So Gateway is done. So this enrages Iceman, and he just yells, "Gateway, you killed Gateway!" And he turns into this big old ice monster. Or maybe you can call him a frost giant now. But this doesn't stop the silver engine, because he grabs another one of these creatures and just opens up his mouth way too far and takes him right out. So Rogue was actually riding on this creature. She jumps off. She lands on the ice. Next thing you know, she's tossing Warpath up in the air. And he's like, "Your mother gave me these vibranium knives. I just want to give them back." And he stabs the engine right in her back. And all she does is punch him right off of her. But the Iceman comes with this huge fist and smashes the hell out of her. So then Akujin, the forearm girl's like, "Rogue, we got to get out of here." And Rogue's like, "I can still fight." And Akujin's like, "No, we need to leave now. Like, you're not her. You're not the green one. You don't have her power." So then the engine with the bow and arrow keeps saying, "The mother's working and will not be disturbed. Leave now." Notice he didn't say teleport because he knows Gateway is dead. He says, "Leave now or you will be decimated." And he shoots Bobby right in the head, and Bobby's head is gone. But he's a Megalov mutant. It should be fine. And then we find out why there's 2 rogues. For some reason, she went to go mess with the Collector. The Collector hit her with a beam of some sorts and split 2 of her personalities. One's Green Rogue, one's Red Rogue. Green Rogue seems to have all the powers, and Red Rogue does not. But that still doesn't mean that Red Rogue doesn't love Gambit, but Gambit loves Green Rogue. Now we can say because of her powers. So then who took her in? Of course, Storm took her in. Let her into her house, gave her a place to crash, gave her a place to mourn and cry, and then gave her a place to train and gave her some crazy weapons made by Moon Girl. She took adamantium, vibranium, and mysterium and rolled it into these crazy knuckles. And then Storm trained her because she can't rely on her powers. So she's going to rely on her 2 fists. But these knuckles does give her a slight power up. But then we go back to the battlefield where Rogue Red busts out these knucks and starts putting it on the silver engine. I mean, beating her down. Like, she even breaks her sword with her knucks, and then she punches the engine so hard that her head flies clean off of her body. Done. Done. So this rogue might be depowered, but she ain't weak. She ain't weak at all. And since she was a consciousness, the other engines just fall. But then we cut to Nigeria, which is Murewa's stomping grounds. And we're X years later in the Age of Revelation. Storm is riding on a hippo and she's riding into this village. All of a sudden the hippo goes into this water or river. It goes down into an underwater cave. When the hippo comes up, it bites a fish man in half. Storm jumps off the hippo and then starts taking the rest of these fishmen out with no problem. Now I don't know why Storm went mad. I guess we'll find out before the series is over. But man, she could give the angel of death, which is Wolverine, a run for his money when it comes to murdering people, because she is doing it damn near with a smile on her face. Now, I was probably supposed to cover Unbreakable X-Men and Iron Frost before this, but you know what? It's my channel. I do what I want. If Murewa comes out with something, I'll cover that first.